Hamilton, The Art of Remaking History is an inspiring and delightful new exhibition at Wadsworth Atheneum in Hartford. The Atheneum, which opened its doors in 1844, a generation before America's earliest art museums, was founded as a kind of memorial to our nation's founding by Daniel Wadsworth and friends. He was the son of Colonel Jeremiah Wadsworth, who was a major player in the provisioning of George Washington's Continental Army and knew the major players in the Patriot cause. Daniel grew up witnessing Washington and others as house guests in the family mansion on the site of the museum. The exhibition addresses that aspect of the museum's history and makes the point through art, objects, and archival documents that history is always a work in progress and that art plays a role in shaping how we remember the past. Here is the show's curators, Brandy Culp and Aaron Monroe, being interviewed for television. One of the earliest objects in the art collection, acquired in the 1850s, is this statuette of Alexander Hamilton. Indeed, the show was conceived to support the touring version of Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton, playing at Hartford's Bushnell Theatre July 10th. Washingtoniana abounds. On the left is Jeremiah Wadsworth's circa 1784 coat, on loan from Connecticut Historical Society, and this locket of Washington's hair donated by Elizabeth Colt. After Washington's death in 1799, the new nation went into mourning. Thousands of commemorative objects were made to honor the greatest of our nation's founding fathers. Atheneum founder Daniel Wadsworth commissioned a set of artist John Trumbull's famous history paintings, scenes from the American Revolution, this being the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Amazing that this museum has such rare and important treasures. The tankard on the left was made by Paul Revere. The camp cup on the right belonged to Jeremiah Wadsworth. This portrait of Connecticut's General David Humphreys, executive secretary to George Washington, was painted by artist John Trumbull, whose father, Governor Jonathan, was one of the pillars of the patriotic cause and a close ally of Washington. This quilt was made from scraps of cloth associated with a variety of Patriot founders and with the donor's family, point being that art and artifacts rooted in historical associations keep history alive. Here are a variety of archival items, letters from Washington, Israel Putnam, and others to Jeremiah Wadsworth. It wouldn't be 2022 if we didn't remind viewers that Washington condoned and upheld plantation slavery, not without reflection and self-awareness. Remaking history, woke history, whatever they call it, the uses and sometimes abuses of the past are how we make meaning. What I have always loved about the Atheneum is that it wasn't founded as an art museum, though is one now. The Atheneum idea was to institutionalize life learning, access to art, literature, history, and natural history. The city's library and historical society were housed here until the 1950s. Out front, if one stops to observe, is a marker commissioned by the DAR commemorating the 3 occasions when General Washington was a guest in the Wadsworth's mansion. Also, one of the first works of art bought by the Atheneum's trustees, a statue of Connecticut state hero and patriot spy Nathan Hale. History matters, art matters, place matters. I love it when our museums show that by blending those elements as splendidly as this exhibition does. Run, don't walk to see Hamilton, the remaking of history. Bill Hosley, Connecticut's tour guide, signing out.